Now to the verdict in the Rick Chow murder case. Earlier today, our Whitney Sullivan sat down with criminal defense attorney John Mobley to discuss everything from the verdict to the jury selection. Take a listen.
We don't know who was on the jury. We don't know the makeup of the jury. Can you speak to the weight of what it means to pick, I hate to say the word right jury, but the importance of jury selection, because it can literally make or break the case. Like you said, this could be tried in front of 12 different people, the same exact case, the same way, and it could have potentially got a different outcome.
Yeah, but I think, we try to pick the right jury based on the information we have. Mm-hmm. But again, based on my personal experiences, I've had jurors that I wanted on my jury that I thought were going to be with me the whole time, and not so in the end. Mm-hmm. In the other, I've had cases where there are people I did not want on my jury, people that didn't like me. That I had one jury actually get aggressive with me doing voir dire on a case, and ultimately that jury got sat and gave me a favorable outcome, and told me later he was one of the main people that was championing my cause. So it's just, we do the best we can when it comes to picking a jury, but there are just so many things, so many personal experiences that jurors have from an individual standpoint that affect how they perceive facts and what's important to them, that we're never going to know all that. And it's just, I hate to use the word crapshoot, but sometimes it's just a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you spoke to that. Like you just don't know what the jurors have been through, because when I think again about the community reaction that we have been seeing, the biggest question is how could, for the people who are upset, how could the jurors vote not guilty? And then you'll hear people in another trial and say, how could they vote guilty, right? And so I think that is such a good perspective to bring in, is you just don't know these jurors' life stories and how they perceived everything that has happened.
And I think another thing that's important to keep in mind too, unless you're in the courtroom every day, if you're watching from home or reading the news or the paper, you're kind of seeing snippets. Mm-hmm. You're not there every day hearing the testimony of all the witnesses and hearing how they respond to questions on cross-examination and judging their demeanor. That's a big factor in these trials that you can't pick up by just kind of watching the highlights. Mm-hmm. You kind of have to be there all day, every day. These jurors are watching these witnesses, 7-8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Any final thoughts as we wrap up? Knowing that we've got that not guilty verdict and this lasting a couple days, any final thoughts on this case?
Again, there's a shock. As I dissect this case and Monday morning quarterback, like I say, while I would have done some things differently on both sides, because I want to be clear, there were things that I saw the defense did that strategically I would have done differently. So again, I'm kind of just critiquing different factors that I noticed, but ultimately, it's very difficult to say that any of those things really made a difference in the outcome. I truly believe if I had an opportunity to talk to these jurors, they would give perspective on things that we're not even thinking about, that were relevant or important to them. And the thing about it is, when we heard about those things or hear about those, we might not even agree with them. Mm. But they're the ones that had the authority to make that decision, and that's what we have to live with.
All right. Thank you so much, criminal defense attorney John Mobley, joining us. Thank you not only for breaking down the trial and the case today, but also you've been with us for the past couple of days, really helping us understand the legalese, because we understand that sometimes trial, it can feel like a lot of red tape. It can feel very convoluted. So thank you so much for breaking that down for us. Now, if you want to check out anything that has happened through this trial, as News 19 has been there gavel to gavel, make sure to head to our website, WLTX.com. And of course, we'll have this interview and all the other interviews we have done regarding this trial on our TV streaming app, WLTX Plus.